Mr. Parthiban, you need to exit your full screen first. Okay, hi everyone. A very good morning, and so sorry for the delay today. Happy Friday, everyone. We are so excited today, not just because the weekend is coming, but we are thrilled to share about the career prospects and education pathway to healthcare. As we are aware, healthcare jobs are in demand even before COVID-19 pandemic hit us. And right now, the pandemic has accelerated the demand further for healthcare workers. When we say healthcare, it is not just referring to doctors or nurses. We have jobs like lab technicians, home health aides, nurse practitioners, medical assistants, and so on. Now and in the future, we need healthcare experts more than ever due to the aging population, prevention of workplace hazards, and also the rising demand of quality healthcare services. Now, before we start our session today, I would like to introduce our three speakers who are themselves experts in the industry. First up, we have Mr. Parthiban. He is the lecturer in our School of Nursing. He is a registered nurse, and in the past, he has served in the military for 13 years. And he proceeded to join a private hospital as a dialysis nurse, and he moved on to become a clinical instructor. After completing a master in nursing education, he proceeded to become a nursing lecturer. We also have two of our very knowledgeable lecturers and program experts. We have Miss Siti Malina. She's a lecturer in our School of Allied Health Sciences. She has been in the education field for about 10 years. That's a very long time. And also we have Miss Noor Hanani. She is our lecturer and program leader in our School of Allied Health Sciences. She has experience in teaching for 8 years. That's also a very long time. Yeah. So without further ado, I would like to pass this time to Mr. Parthiban, where he'll begin his sharing. Over to you, Mr. Parthiban.
Hi. Very good morning, yeah? And then I'm from School of Nursing and Allied Health. Today I'm going to talk about career in nursing. So welcome and nice to see you all at my session. So now I'm going to share my screen. So hold on for a while. So I hope you all can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So again, hi, very good morning. I'm Parthiban from School of Nursing and Allied Health, SEGI College, Kuala Lumpur. So again, welcome and nice to see you all at my session. Today I'm going to give a very brief info on how to become a student nurse and on a career prospect in nursing profession. So nursing is a profession within the healthcare sector focused on the care of individuals, families, and communities, so they may attain, maintain, or recover to optimal and quality of life. And also, everybody know nursing is a noble profession that demands hard work, dedication, and an extraordinary amount of compassion and selflessness. So I'll go to the next slide. This is little bit introduction on nursing, because it is a very caring profession. That's why they call it noble profession. So, if you love people and like to work with people, so you should become a nurse. It is a very rewarding career. There is when we talk about reward, is you can have a tangible and intangible rewards. Tangible means something you can see. Intangible means something you only know your satisfactions towards this career. It is a industry ready career, so that means there is a lot of demands outside there. So nurses are in very high demand. Healthcare industries need trained registered nurses. So most of the nurses working in nursing homes, hospitals, this one everybody know, industries, manufacturing factories, dialysis centers, health screening centers, these fertility clinics now famous, and then aesthetic center, something related to beauty, that is aesthetic centers, and then many more other places. So it is a career where this profession which are needed at every phase of life. So that means children need nurses, the toddler need nurses, adult need nurses, and then the old people, or they call it gerontology nurse. So we need nurses at every phase of our lives. Okay. So nurses work in healthcare settings. So example, hospitals and other healthcare centers where they directly involved with patient care or bed care. So another version of nurses, they are working with non-healthcare settings. That means they work in the schools, they become as a school nurses, industrial nurses, offshore nurses. That means they work in ship. And then you also have product specialists, and then we have nurses also can become medical rep. So the chances are very vast or big. So this is little introduction on the career growth. Career growth, normally you can become, once you graduated as a nurse, you can become as a clinical nurse. That means you serve directly to the sick people. Then you also can become a manager involved with administrative work. You managing the ward, the hospitals. And then the next, you can become an academician. That means you can become a lecturer, tutor, clinical instructor. And then you also can become a leader. Sometimes in some hospital, nurses also they become as a CEO. So they are in the top level of management. And then there also nurses become business people, entrepreneur. You can open up your own centers, your own home care centers. Some they have opened up dialysis centers. So if you doesn't like to work with people, you can open up your own business with the nursing license. So if you wanted to become a nurse, you must go through these steps. So there is a entry qualification. Minimum you should have 5 credits. STM or O level also 5 credits. Then you enter the diploma course. That course it's like full-time course, 3 years. The durations of the course is 3 years. Then once you completed the 3 years course in SEGI, you pass your final exam, and then you are eligible to sit for nursing board examination, or they call it Lembaga Jururawat Malaysia. So you sit for the Lembaga or nursing board examination, and then you pass, and then you are eligible for eligible to become a registered nurse. So you have a license to practice. They call it APC, a practicing license. So so take around 3 years. So you won't stop with diploma only. In nursing, learning is the education is like lifelong learning. So you need to update yourself in knowledge. So you start with diploma, and then you go for your first degree. Currently in SEGI, we are going to have our own homegrown degree. Soon we have our homegrown degree. So after degree, you go for your masters, and then PhD, and then this is post basic courses, meaning you want to become a specialized nurse, you want to become like an oncology nurse or gerontology, who taking care of old people, and then you have to take study for these post basic courses to specialize. So here, normally if you qualify to become a nurse, currently we have a program. If homegrown, normally we have like that is 3 years program. So after that, this is 2 years program, master's program. Then this is 4 years program. Post basic is depend. Sometimes certain courses 6 months, certain courses you have to take for 1 year. So in nursing, education is like your life. You learn for your life. You won't stop at what you have. So we need to update ourselves, knowledge, and then only we can excel in this nursing career. So everybody know this is a pandemic era. So during COVID-19 pandemic, economy, employment, and population are declining. Everything going down. But only one thing. There's one thing that is rising. That is the demand for more nurses. So that means this nursing profession is a very marketable profession during this COVID pandemic. So this is the evidence from one of the newspaper. You see this? Government needed 3,000 retired nurses to return to service. That means we have a shortage of nurses. So that means always we have a demand for this profession. So it is a very secured career compared to other careers. And then you also, once you graduated, you also have opportunities to work in overseas. So that means you are marketable globally. And then opportunities to work overseas. That means this nursing degree is considered as a passport for you all to work in other countries. Okay. Why you should join nursing at SEGI? Why you must study nursing with SEGI? First, we are one of the pioneer nursing college. So that means we have a good reputation in Malaysia, and then our what you call then when we talk about fee, our fee is very competitive compared to other colleges. The learning environment in SEGI KL is very conducive learning environment. We have very good environment. Our classroom are very well equipped, and then our skill labs for student practicing complete with good complete with good items. So here in SEGI, student normally will have their practical training at government hospitals and government community clinics. So that means the exposure to the working environment is good. And then we have a very experienced clinical instructors and lecturers to guide the student. And then the location of the SEGI KL itself is very strategic. So we are located at the city center of KL. So it is easily can be accessible through public transport. So if you wanted to know more about this diploma course in nursing, please liaise with our marketing people, or you also can query through these websites. So there's nothing much to say. So thank you. I hope if anybody interested, and then with the 5 credit qualification, you can register with us. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask our marketing people. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Pratibin. You can stop your screen sharing and we will pass the session over to Miss Siti Marlina.
Right.
Hi, thank you, Mr. Patiban. Hi, hello, good morning, everyone. So I'm Miss Marlina. So I would like to share about the MLT today. Okay. So I hope that everyone is like doing well. Okay. Despite this pandemic, COVID-19 cases is rising every day, right? So, Ms. Marlina here, going to talk about Diploma in Medical Laboratory Technology, or in a short form, we call it as the DMLT. Okay, so before we start, okay, I just would like to remind you guys like today is like 23rd April. And when we are in the 23rd April, so actually we are in the Medical Laboratory Professional Week. Okay, so this medical lab professional week is falls on 18 to 24 April. So today we are in the 23rd April. So we are still celebrating the medical lab professional week. Okay, and before I like talk further about DMLT, so I would like to share a video, and this is the compilation video about the MLT staff, okay, KKM staff, okay, made by the Union MLT Facebook. Okay, so you can refer to the Union MLT Facebook for this video as well. But I just would like to share with you guys about this today. Okay, there is no audio, but the audio is not really related. Okay. Okay, so the video that you have watched just now, that is about like overall what is the duty by the DMLT. Okay, um, they are not only like processing the COVID-19 samples, but we are also processing on blood samples and microbiology and so on. Okay, we are going to talk about that one later on the next slide. Okay, so if you are studying about DMLT and then if you are working in the afterwards. So you're going to work as the medical laboratory technologist, or in Malay, we call it as the Juru Teknologi Makmal Perubatan. Okay, so like you can see in the picture, so this is one of the duty or tasks that will be done by the MLT. Okay, so we are pipetting certain like reagents before we are testing the patient sample. Okay, so if you want to become an MLT, you're going to learn a Diploma in Medical Laboratory Technology, the MLT, and this is a 3 years program. Okay, and you are not only in SEGI, we are not just provided you with the academic background, we are also providing you with technical skills so that you can enter the healthcare system as a practicing medical lab technician. Okay, sometimes certain place they're calling as a technician, certain place they're calling as a scientist, lab scientist as well. Okay, beside academic background, beside technical skills that you're going to learn during your 3 years program, you are also gaining the experience and knowledge to develop your critical thinking, your technical and interpersonal skills. Okay, so I can say that this MLT is not just focusing on academic and also technical. We are also providing you with the another skills that would be like make you as a complete MLTs, okay, so that you can survive in the outside world or in your working world. Okay, and this program also, in that 3 years, we are also providing you, or we are also required you to have the clinical placement, or you're doing posting in the laboratories. Okay, it could be a private laboratories or it could be government laboratories. Okay, so during that 3 years program, you guys are going to learn about all these subjects. Okay, you're going to touch on the fundamental chemistry, introductions to MLT, human biology, lab mathematics, okay, immunology, molecular biology. Okay, molecular biology, one of the sub-subject you are going to learn is about PCR. So I think like you now are familiar with PCR because like if you are required to test whether you are infected with COVID-19 virus or not. So we have two options. You can do either RTK antigen test or you can do PCR test. So the PCR test is one of the subtopic under molecular biology. Okay, and then next you're also learning about cytology, in histopathology, parasitology, where you are looking for the worms or parasites that infect human. Okay, biochemistry, immunohematology, that one is about blood bank. Okay, or tabung darah. So where you, this is the place or the lab where you're going to donate your blood samples, your blood, to be given to the patient. So before we are giving the blood to the patients, you guys are going to do the test to see whether the blood from the donor is compatible or is suitable or not for your patient. So that one we covered under immunohematology. Okay, hematology, we are studying about your blood disease, whether the patient is having anemia, thalassemia. Okay. Medical microbiology, we want to study what kind of bacteria that infect you, that causing you in infections, okay, causing you to have a fever. And then the last one, before you end your 3 years program, you are going to be attached, okay, doing your attachment or doing your posting in the clinical placement. So why we are putting 1 and 2? Because that one is like a continuation subject. You are going to take like these two subjects in different semester. Okay, so it's like basic and also advanced level the subjects. Okay, I have mentioned about the clinical placement or your posting. Okay, so these are the some of the lists. Okay, of the laboratories that you can do your attachment or doing your posting. Okay, so it could be Genosis Lab, Path Lab, Rebels, and so on. Okay, and our students also has been attached to the government hospitals as well. Okay, government lab. Okay, so you have an options for your clinical placement. Okay, sometimes we do consider as well if they say your place is like which one is like nearer to your place. Okay, so if you're working and when you are working as a medical lab technology, okay, so these are the tests that you're going to perform. Okay, we do have several departments on the chemical, hematological, and so on. And these samples these are the examples of the samples that you're going to test and you're going to receive in the lab. Okay, Most commonly would be you are going to receive the blood samples, urine sample from your patient, sputum sample, okay, to test whether the patient is having TB or batuk kering. Stool sample also we are processing, okay, to look for is there any worms presence in the stools, or is it the eggs of the worms, okay, present in the stool, like causing infections, especially to kids, okay. Cerebrospinal fluid, the one, the fluid that you take from your spinal cord, okay, is a very rich fluid that can tell us about your health conditions. And other samples, like for example, like your other body fluids. Okay, so the next one, we are going to show some of the pictures. Okay, I just want to share pictures of about our students study in SEGI College Kuala Lumpur, and also some of the facilities now that we have in our laboratory. Okay, so these are the our students. She is looking at the microscope. Okay, so she is observing the slides, the glass slides, hematology slide, blood sample slide. In the microscope, she is like looking for the any blood cells that showing abnormalities. Okay, and from there, if let's say she has viewed this slide, then she will be able to identify what is the abnormal cells or abnormal RBC that presents in the patient samples, and she could write down the report. Okay, what are the findings that she found under the microscope. And this is the our students, okay, doing biochemistry tests in the lab. Okay, so they are doing collecting patient samples, okay, using patient serum that you got it from the blood, okay, patient's blood, and testing it for the abnormalities in terms of biochemistry. For example, like looking for the enzymes, okay, looking for the minerals that presents in the patient. Okay, so all the reagents are provided by us, okay, and you do have a lab manual as well, and we do have the machines, okay, semi-automated machines to process all these tests. Okay, so these are the examples. Our students are doing a blood smear, okay, before they can view it under a microscope. So you can see here, our student is like doing several blood smear. Okay, why is it like several blood smear? Because they try to practice themselves to produce a better blood smear, because this one you need to practice, okay, and we provide you with blood samples and also the instruments and also the materials provided, so that you can test several times until like you are able to perform or to produce a good blood smear to be observed under microscope later. And this is the our students doing a test on the ABO blood grouping, okay, to know whether you are A blood group, B blood group, or AB blood group. Okay, so this is the one. This is the test that they are doing in the lab. Okay, so that is some of the examples of our student and also our lab facilities, okay, that we have in SEGI College Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so overall, from the video itself, you have seen, right, the job prospect, okay, after you have finished study DMLT, Diploma in Medical Lab Technology, what you can do afterwards is, number one, of course, you can work in the medical fields, okay, you can work in the lab, private lab, you can work in the hospital, private hospital, government hospital, you can even join the military, okay. Besides practicing or working in the medical field, you can also, involve in the non-medical field, but still not in the lab, but you are selling, or you become a representative of the medical's equipment instruments. Okay, so because like if let's say you can like guide your customer, okay, on how like the customer is like our lab, okay, the customer is the private lab, hospital lab, government lab, okay, when you're purchasing certain equipment, so they need someone with the background of medical laboratory to explain to them on how to use this, and then what to do if let's say the machine is not working properly and so on. Okay, so it's not limited to the just working in the lab. Okay, you can also work in the education field. Okay, you can become a tutor, you can become a lecturer. Okay, you can get students in terms of the field and also in terms of the academic. Okay, you become a trainer as well. Okay, another option is you can join the analytical field, okay, as a QC, doing a QC, okay, for all the machines, okay, like related to medical, and you can become a scientist as well. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that you are not just like just working in the lab, you can have another option as well. You can join the industry, joining in the medical sales. Okay, so now you have known that what you can do if you're working as an MLT. Okay, so now what are the entry qualifications if you want to join for the diploma in medical lab technology? So you need to have a 5 credits in the SPM. Okay, so the 5 credit including Bahasa Melayu, Bahasa Inggeris, mathematics, any one science subject. Okay, it doesn't matter, you get credit for chemistry or biology or physics or general science or applied science. Okay, so meaning that if you are not taking science stream during your school time, you still have the chance to join the DMLT program. So it's open. Okay, so maybe during your school time, you thought that, okay, I'm not joining the science stream because it's quite difficult. But after you have finished your school, you think that you are interested. You just found out that you are interested in science stream or in the science field. So you still have the chance to join our program. Okay, and one more credit is from any other subject. Okay, but if you have further questions, you can refer to our SEGI College Kuala Lumpur counselor, or you can even visit our website. Okay, and then beside the employability or the job prospect just now, okay, from the alumni, okay, we have seen that some of our alumni, okay, they have worked in hospital, okay, government, both government and private. Okay, so for examples like some of our students, they are working in the government hospital, Hospital Shah Alam, Columbia Asia, KPJ, Pantai Hospital, and Sunway Medical Center. And they can even work in the overseas. So some of our students are working in Singapore. Okay, and if let's say you have finished your DMLT, you thought of like furthering your study. Okay, you can further study in the IPTA as well. Okay, so IPTA and IPTS. So in IPTA, examples that some of our students are continue study in UM and also UKM. Okay, and even some of them are study in Monash. So here, what I'm going to say is that our MLT program, our DMLT program, is approved by MQA, and that has been recognized and approved by the IPTA and IPTS as well. Okay, so it's not like you do have an options to like further study wherever you want. Okay, so the salary range could be 1K to 4K. This one is depends on the economy as well. Okay, but it's not lesser than 1K. Okay, so this is the quite latest job opportunity from the KKM, okay, due to the pandemic, COVID-19. So KKM have been opening a job opportunity for our DMLT, okay, graduates, okay. So doesn't matter you are working, you are studying in the IPTA or IPTS, both of you can join to work in the KKM or to work in the government. So it's not limited to work in private, you can also work in the government. So this is some of the examples of the latest job opportunity from the KKM. And you have seen, you see here, in healthcare centers, okay, or in healthcare career, okay, so the job is like, you can say that it's a secured and you do have an options, okay, you do have opportunity, lots of opportunity to work, okay, after you have graduated. Okay, and if let's say you are interested with our program, to know more, so you can get the information on the DMT, you can refer or you can view our website, okay, and you are looking for diploma in medical lab technology, okay, we do have a programs here, so they are going to explain again, provide you with some information about the MLT program, okay. And then you can also talk or refer to our CBKL counselor, okay, for more details. Okay, so if let's say you have any questions, you can look at our website, visit our website, and you can even talk to our counselors. And by that, thank you so much for spending your time about DMLT. So I do hope that my sharing today is like giving you an idea, okay, giving you an interest to know more about DMLT. So thank you so much for today. So I'm going to pass this to Miss Hanani. Thank you and take care, everyone.
Hello, good morning to everyone. Okay, so I'm Ms. Hanani, lecturer in the component leader for Diploma in Occupational Safety and Health. So I'm going to share my screen. Alright, so Diploma in Occupational Safety and Health. Okay, basically, so what actually is occupational safety and health? Right, so occupation set and health, or OSH is what you call it, is one of the cross-disciplinary area that concern when we're going to protect the safety, health, and welfare of the people who engage in work. But this is not only we are not only protect the workers, but we also protect the visitors, the clients, the customers, because whenever they come to our premises, their safety, their health, and their welfare is also our responsibility. Okay, so this is so take into consideration, on the physical, psychological, biological, chemical, and economic risk. We can see that in most of the workplace, they have a lot of risk. Where they might, when workers who work with this risk, exposed to this kind of risk, they might expose themselves to danger. And they might end up injured, or maybe sickness. So we can see like currently there's a lot of details that already happen. So we are as an employer, safety and health officer, you as will be the one that will be standing between your workers and also the accidents. Right? So we can see there's a lot of incidents that already happened about years. This is the one that happened in the nuclear power plants. Right, so which is the one that happened in Pasiguda, 2019, that we can see due to the chemical, okay, illegal dumping of the chemical from industry. Right, the which is the current pandemic situation, we can see a lot of workplace carry out a lot of control measures in order to protect their workers from being exposed to the COVID-19. So then this is the latest incidents that happened, which is the accident in highway, where there's a worker, that where there's cranes, that fall, which had caused injury to the public and so the worker. Right. So for deployment of computer so what will be the academic pathway? So after you complete your SPM, or equivalent, so then you can apply for the diploma in occupational safety and health. Right, so after you complete your diploma, you can go for the study for your degree program. Right, so then after the degree program, you also get further study to the master and then to the PhD. Alright. So what would be the requirement in order to be to enter, to apply for the diploma in occupational safety and health? Right, so we should have the minimum for SPM, the 3 credits, which includes the master major, English, mathematics, or any science subject, like the biology, chemistry, physics, or maybe the basic science, or also for the O level or equivalent, right? So this program, for this program diploma in OSH, have 3 years. So this will be the program structure. So during the year 1, so we have all the subjects that you're going to learn throughout the semester 1 and the semester 3, right? So during your year 2, so this will be the subject. So the year 2 will have, see here more to the core subject for the diploma in OSH. We're going to learn about the machinery safety, economic human factors in safety, the OSH registration, the management of workplace health safety, the fire prevention protection system. Then we also have like hazard identification and risk control. Right, so which is very important. So then we have industrial hygiene one. Then we also have safety and health construction, management for the OSH, information and data system. So during the 5 years, right, we have this subject like industrial hygiene 2, introduction to hazardous substance, right? So then during the semester 2 and semester 3 for year 3, so they will be going for that industrial training, which is for about 14 weeks, for one semester, right? So these are four, there's 4 active subjects, throughout the 3 years program, right? So where the student, they can choose like which out of these 4, the 3 subjects that they want to take, right? So for the assessment method that we carry out is SEGI, okay, we have like 60%, okay, we look at the coursework, which is include like the quiz, the assignment, okay, the group presentation or the individual presentation. We also have group project, and also we have the written exam. Okay, so then another 40% we will cover for the final examination, okay, where the question will have the combination of either the MCQ, okay, short essay, or case study. Right, so this is method here. So this class okay, will be conducted okay, face to face or through the online learning. Right. So for the employability, we can see that we have a lot of industry sector, okay, that have been in Malaysia. Okay, we have lots of it. So you can see especially for the employability for student who graduate from diploma in English is very high. Okay, so we can see that actually students can go for manufacturing, can get into the marine, construction, agriculture, forestry, and so fishery. Okay, we still have like utilities. Okay, wholesale and retail, okay, hotel and restaurant, okay, then public services, statutory activities, okay. Then so students also can have job opportunity inside of the finance, insurance, or real estate. Okay, or also can be join the transport solution combination. So actually for this game, job opportunity is the scope is very big. Okay, so there's a lot of industry sectors okay, where student okay, can end up in, right? So then for the career perspective, so we can see that students at the end, after they complete their diploma in officer, they can be a site safety supervisor, where they have the responsibility, to inspect, rectify the unsafe condition at the construction site, where they need to correct any unsafe practice, then ensure the subcontractors, both comply with the Act and SUR regulation. Then the students also can end up as a safety and health officer, right? So they can where they need to manage the matter that related to the workplace safety and health. They also need to advise their employer on control measures that can be implemented in the workplace. Collect any data, analyze data, for example, collect data for the incidents that happen in the workplace throughout the years. Then also need to inspect the workplace, carry out investigation, and so to promote the safety conduct of the work. Right, so then students can analyze the hygiene, technician where they need to carry out the chemical exposure monitoring, but we also have the hygiene technician too. That what is really more to carry out testing and testing on the engineering control vision, right? So then students can be the assessor, where they carry out the chemical health risk assessment, right? So beside then all these four, students can end up as a safety supervisor. Right, safety supervisor will also have the cancer and our education field can become like a lecturer or tutor. Right, students also can head out as a environmental health and safety executive, right? Okay, beside that, we also have other like safety and health or we call it OSH consultant, right? So actually there's a lot, right? Right, so these are the workplace, the company, and also the position of our alumni. Okay, we can see some of them, have to complete their study, they become such a supervisor, but for that, first of all, they need to take the courses for the SSS, where they need to get the yellow book, in order to become the safety supervisor, right? So we have students who become safety and health environment administrative assistant. Okay, we also have some who work as a safety supervisor, become project coordinator. Okay, some which as HSE consultant. Okay, some become project admin. Okay, we also have some of our students who currently working as a health safety leader, and also environmental leader. Whereas there's also another which is as a supervisor. Alright, so these are the picture given by our alumni where currently where they are working.
Hi Hanani, we are past our streaming time, so can you take the last 1 minute to wrap it up?
The last which one?
yeah, just take 1 minute to wrap it up, and we will need to pass over the session to the next speakers. Yeah.
Right. So for diploma or skills is quite the can see that it's high demand because every workplace have a hazard, have a risk. Okay, so we as in the working in the occupational safety and health field, okay, let's say you are a safety and health officer, you have a very high responsibility. Okay, to take care to ensure the safety, health, welfare of our workers and also to other employment of the organization. Okay, good. Then it's not only our responsibility on the workers and so to employ under this organization, but also we need to ensure the safety so of the public. So and so our client, our customer, our contractor, and so on. Right, so it's really a very big responsibility. Even of the salary. You also can the salary is can be quite high. Can be quite high, but then your responsibility will also be very very high. So that's it for me.
All right, thank you very much, Miss Hanani and Miss Siti Marlina. We are running out of time. We actually ran out of time, but thank you everybody who is tuning in, and we are passing on to our next upcoming session. Thank you everybody. See you soon.
Live streaming is on.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Yeah,
Justin.
welcome.
Hello, Justin.
Hello. So, welcome to the SEGI V-Day webinar. My name is Justin Wong, and I'm from SEGI University Kota Damansara. All right, and also your host for this session. Now, in this session, we are going to talk about creative design and mass communication program. So, students or parents, if you are interested to know more about this creative design and mass communication, now this is the session for you. All right. Now, without further ado, let us welcome Miss Aziana, Program Leader of Creative Design, and Miss Jessica, Lecturer of Mass Communication. Hello, both of you.
Hello
Everyone.
So, have you had your lunch, or you haven't yet after this lah?
After this.
I'm totally fasting today.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay, so let's talk about creative design program first. So Miss Hazi, can you tell us more about the creative design program and how students that are interested can start off with in this program?
Yeah, sure. But then actually I have my slides. So let me project my slide first.
Yep, definitely.
All right.
The floor is all yours.
So I just want to check with you guys. Is my slide working on screen?
Yep, it's
All
on
right.
the screen right now.
So, before I start, I just like to say hi again to everyone. Miss Jessica is here. Hi, Miss Jessica. Justin Wong, thank you for inviting me for the webinar. All right. So, since our session is for creative design, I am Miss Aziana from Creative Design program. Then my topic today is about design process and where to begin. So this is this is a topic that most of the designers and especially for students who are about to step into our programs should know, because we are about to practice this in doesn't matter what project you are doing, all right, in the program. So where to begin, we have 7 steps, all right, we have 7 steps to discuss, okay, in this session. We should go with the first one, figure out to the concept, all right. We have seek out inspiration, sketch, color study, designing, embrace the feedback, and finalize the details. So basically, all the steps that I have mentioned just now is like a cooking steps, all right, it's like a baking cake. So if you forget to put the ingredient to the recipe, maybe it will affect the result of your dish. And for us is of course a design. All right. So we proceed with the number one, figure out the concept. So basically, this is the first thing that designers, especially junior designers or the student, should uh, they need to identify the objective. What is the design for? We have a purpose, okay? Every project or task that we receive, okay, given by the lecturer or the clients, we need to analyze and identify them, what they need from us, because we are designers, so we should know what we are going to do. So in the concept of design, we have a lot, like many types of concept, right? It can be like animation, it can be advertisement. Advertisement consists like posters, billboards, even digital posters. Currently, we can see in social media, right? Videos, packaging, and illustration. So these are the concepts that we need to identify and categorize them. All right. So we are about to plan now. All right. The second one, right after we identify and we manage to minimize the scope, then we will take a look at the number two, seek out inspiration. All right. So seek out inspiration means you are looking for reference. In our programs, the lecturer will always remind the students to collect data, collect the visual data. All right. Find reference means we can just gather all the visual reference from printed material, okay, such as like magazines or books. But now it's normal for us to find it. Just use your fingers to scroll on your mobile phones or searching in Google's, right? We have many platforms to look for reference. For example, Behance, Pixels, Pinterest, Dribble, and Juxtapose. And my favorite is Pinterest because it's easy and we have like wide designs, okay, shared in the platform, so easy for us to reach the designs, okay, the updated designs for that currently ongoing in the environment. All right. So I guess by collecting visual reference or visual data, it can inspire you. We are a normal human being, all right? Sometimes we need like guidance or like inspirations before we come up with our own design. So like me, I will practice myself. Whenever I receive a task or a project, the first thing that I do is the first one, identify the task, and then second one, I will go through the many platforms, okay, to seek for my reference, and then usually I will do it. I will do that before my bedtime, okay, because some of people they will prefer to read books during the bed before the bedtime, but mine is different because I am in this field and I am more interested to scroll my phone looking for a visual reference for my future needs. All right. So this is number three, sketch. Okay. I'm very sure if you scroll down your phones, okay, look for references, then it will give you an ideas, okay, to develop your creativity. Then after that, you need like a piece of paper, or now you can use like laptops or your iPad to sketch. All right. Now, like after you do some data collection, you will have like an idea playing in your mind, okay, which is you cannot visualize it. But number three here is your time, okay. You can start with thumbnails means just small boxes, okay, on your paper or your laptops. All right, just create a box and then you simply rough sketch about what is playing in your mind. Okay, in sketches we can compose the elements, the objects or the images. So by doing that, I believe that it is very helpful, okay, to narrow down which idea, okay, which composition or design, okay, is the best according to the idea or the concept that been selected. All right, so I would like to share my styles, okay, because I was from my background is from fine arts, and then I moved to visual communication, so I can do both technical parts. Okay, I can do physical traditional methods, for example, like using marker pen, watercolor, or even soft pastels. But at the same time, I can also practice to sketch by using digital illustrator. All right, so those things are needed, and I guess it is very helpful for me, all right, to visualize my idea, especially if you want to present it to your lecturers or clients, of course. All right, so after you narrow down your idea, all right, you get to select which idea, which composition, or which design is the best for the concept. Then you will select one. After that, you will do the color study. Okay, so this is a step number 4. Color study is very important in design because it helps to deliver your message in the fanciest way you can, all right? Because if you study the fundamental of color, it is very fun and interesting part to learn, all right, about it. Each colors will give you a different kinds of messages and definition too. So you can study the color by creating multiple thumbnails again, all right? If during the sketches, during the sketch session, you will create the thumbnails to create or narrow it out, or to roughly draw your idea. But this time, these thumbnails are needed for you to try and error about the colors. All right, which color is perfect if you combine which colors are playing with the color codes. And I think by doing this, you can see like 70% of your idea is going to alive. All right, it's just you are about to minimize it again soon. All right, so color study is important as well as sketches. So I believe after you have done your color study, you can see the development now. All right, we are getting like closer and closer to the final product or final design. Of course, by doing the color study, you will pick another one more, the best from the thumbnails that you have created. All right, so now it is time for you to come up with the final product that you are about to deliver or to present. All right. um, so designing can be using, you can use like Photoshop, all right, Adobe, Illustrator, and we have many kinds of softwares are needed for many kinds of category of designs. All right, like traditional methods, it's like traditional painting. All right, you can use acrylic brush on canvas. Same goes to digital methods like digital painting. You will need like Photoshop or Illustrator. The different thing is just you will be using a different methods, or will need like device or materials like that. But I think both can be used for any concept, all right, for design concept. So embrace the feedback. This is where you have presented your final design, all right. You think that it's confirmed, you want to share the product or design with the clients and lecturers, then this is a time where you need to embrace yourself, okay, of receiving some feedbacks. All right, in our creative design field, it is normal if your artworks of your design is getting rejected by lecturers or clients. But then don't afraid, okay, don't afraid about that, don't worry, just be open-minded. That is the first thing that you need to put in yourself. Be open-minded, you will get some feedbacks and opinions, but remember those feedbacks and opinions are needed, okay, as in order for you to improve your skills. All right, to who knows if we have done some mistakes with the design. So in the sessions of presenting or sharing session with the lecturers, you will get the mistake fix. Okay, our lecturers in SEGI, they are very helpful and skillful and talking about the knowledge. Okay, the knowledge are very big and wide. So I think that by collecting some feedback, you will get a chance to learn about the new techniques and also the new approaches. All right, especially for illustration, like Adobe. All right, things are changing very fast. All right, if today you will design this design by using this technique, but maybe tomorrow you will get another way, the best way for you to use. All right, like a shortcut. Who knows, right? Right after we call that as assessment, all right, the final presentation. Then after that, for sure you will get some feedbacks. You will take notes about the mistakes, and you are about to amend, all right, make some correction. This is the last step, which is to finalize the detail, right? Once that is done, it is time to get started on the details, right? It's not that where you already found out the mistakes that you have done, you will let it be like that. Okay, it is not a good practice for the designers. Whenever we found out and noticed there is a mistake with our design, or there is things that we need to change, right? We can do it, right after the presentations or the sharing session. All right. The purpose of this step is to make sure that we can complete the changes, all right, to give you the final approval that all of the design specification have been incorporated in the design. So your final product is usually 100% done here. Okay, we go back to the baking cake. All right, this is your cake, your final product. It's already there. All right, it's hot from the oven. Okay, following all the steps and all the ingredients are already there. So I'm pretty sure if you are designers, or if you are willing to be designers, if you are eager to study in our programs, all right, I think this step or the process will be needed, all right, from your first year until your final year, because there is nothing else we can follow other than the design, the perfect design process that I am presenting you today. All right. So I hope by sharing the design process that which is considered as the most basic things that designers should know, it will can open your mind and also open your eyes about how to be the professional designers. All right. So Justin, I guess that is all from me about the creative design.
Okay. Wow, that is some interesting facts that you have there. I'm sure students with the interest of venturing their studies into creative design, these informations will definitely help them. All right. Now, moving forward, we will have uh, a discussion or a presentation by Miss Jessica. All right, to talk about mass communication. Now, personally, myself, my background, I came from the mass comm degree background. So it's definitely a fun thing to do. All right. So students or parents, we are here, you are still watching. Okay, I hope that you didn't leave the stream already. All right. Let's get Miss Jessica to talk about the mass communication. So Miss Jessica, can you tell us a little bit more about mass communication and why is it the all-rounder as mentioned in the title?
Okay, so very good afternoon to all of you. Very good afternoon, Justin, Miss Azzi. My name is Jessica. So very good afternoon to all our audience for today as well. So I hope you're having a good time. I know it's during a lunch hour and everything. So, but I hope you can just stay on with us because we have very interesting things that we would like to share. So I'm based in Mass Communication, School of Mass Communication. So I'll be sharing more insights about it. So I think it's fair for students, especially those SPM leavers, those who are still undecided on what they want to do and all. So you get to explore on more courses that we actually have. So not forgetting, we want to also, of course, highlight the importance of each program and everything. So likewise, I would like to share how mass comm is important and how much or what are the things you will be basically learning in this field. All right. So before we move on further, of course, I also have a slide that I would like to share. But I think the first foremost thing that people would actually want to know is what is mass communication. All right. So this is very common myth or very common things that I myself, being a mass comm student last time, very commonly we go through when we say to anyone or we tell someone, oh, I'm studying mass comm. Oh, you're going to be journalists. You see. So the perceptions of the people that have is mass comm means only journalists. You either be a reporter in TV or a presenter in radio, like a VJ or RJ, and that's about it. So pretty much people do not know how much of expansion mass communication can actually give us, because that's one of the reason I mentioned it as the all-rounder, because you will not be a journalist or just a reporter or one specific program to say. You have a number of courses, a number of programs that you can specialize and you can decide. And one very good thing about mass communication that I would say is that with mass communication, let's say, okay, you took up the program, but you're still undecided, okay, which one should I specialize or which is my best interest in? The good thing about this program is that we have a lot of things under our umbrella, basically. All right. So we have advertising, we have public relation, we have events, we have marketing, we have social media, we have a number of ample of things that you can actually venture inside. So without further ado, so let me just share screen to my slide so that I can just, a little visualization to what I'm sharing today. Can you all see my screen?
Yep, I can see.
Yeah, okay, great. All right. So once again, welcome to all of you. So I'm going to just take you a little trip with me on what is mass communication all about and why do I call it the all-rounder, all right? So to begin with, I think it's important for people to know, for us to understand what mass communication is. So because everyone have their own views, everyone has their own say, everyone actually have their own perception, to be precise on this. And a lot of people, even sometimes students, when I ask them, why you choose mass comm? Oh, because got no maths, So something very simple, they just tell, oh, no maths, so I take this. Oh, because my parents asked me to, because this, sometimes you must have a clear picture, I feel, especially when you're choosing your career, you're choosing your field of study. As a student, you must have a stronger perception, a stronger opinion on the courses that you are choosing. So that's why I want to enlighten you pretty much on what are the things you can expect, what are the things you will learn here, so that you have a clear understanding, you have a clear picture before you can make your decision. All right. So to begin with, mass comm, of course, communicating to a mass audience. All right. So that means you reach a greater number of people. So using many mediums or one medium, but you reach a greater number of people. So when I'm sending a normal WhatsApp, I may be communicating to one or maybe a few people in the group. But when we say mass communication, you're reaching out to big number, generally the public, the entire nation, the entire country. It can be international, it can be local. So the list goes on. All right. So that means a message that I want to say, I can deliver it to a greater number of people. So that is one good thing about mass communication, is that it allows you to reach to a greater number of people in a very short period of time. Okay. And of course, communication, the name is embedded there, so you're not running away from that. So this is where it's not about just communicating. Everyone can communicate. We can speak, we can chat, we can deliver message, we can do all the things. But effectively communicating is what we need these days. The word effective is so important, is that when you do not communicate effectively, the entire meaning of your message can change, the entire meaning of what you want to deliver can change. So it can put you into a big changes if you do not communicate effectively. So you need to know the correct way. So when I say effective, that means correctly, effectively, properly, and I want to do it so that the person that I'm sending that, the recipient, will receive the message as how I intended to. In most cases, the problem with us is that, in our normal daily relationship also, we communicate something, they understand something else. That is because we didn't communicate to them properly. So that becomes a problem. So with mass communication, you will learn all the tools, will learn all the skills, learn all the strategies, learn all the planning that you need for you to communicate effectively. So you want to advertise, how do you do it? You want to speak, how do you do it? You want to carry out campaign, how do you do it? So with mass communication, you will learn quite a number of things on how to manage. It also includes your interpersonal communication. So you feel, oh, I'm not so confident to talk to my girlfriend or boyfriend. Never mind. With communication, you can communicate so well with number of people, with number of areas. It doesn't really focus just for work. It can be for your personal gain as well. All right. And another very important thing is that news. Okay. So without news, we are nothing. All right. We do not know what's happening around us. We do not know what's taking place. We do not know what is actually going around us. So it is important that you know. So where do we get this news? From one of the branch of mass communication, of course, under journalism and everything. You will know a lot of things, and social media. So quite a number of places, number of mediums that you can actually get the information that you need. So what will happen to us if we do not stay, we are not updated with the things around us? We won't know the status. For example, now the pandemic, as an example, we won't know what's happening to COVID. We don't know what's our level. Don't know what's the status. We don't know what's the SOP. We don't know what are the cases going. How many have recovered? So news is so important these days. Although many of us would have really phased out reading physical newspaper, but nonetheless, with the internet, with the help of it, we are all still accessible to all this information that we need. So we can still get all the latest thing around us. So when you are in masscom, you will be ahead, a step ahead from others, because you are automatically updated with the things around you, because the study line and the activities that you do will be in line on getting updates on things, finding out news, identifying between fake news and real news, because nowadays fake news is so common, right? So you, when you're a masscom student, when you're a media student, you will be automatically, okay, something forwarded in WhatsApp, should I believe or not? Or I should verify. So I must find out which is true, which is not. All right. So that is one good plus point. You are ahead about compared to the others. And then, of course, medium. So mass communication allows multiple platform, that means medium, to communicate. So there's no one way. Okay, I cannot say I'm only using Facebook. I can use Facebook, I can use Instagram at the same time, I can use WhatsApp and Telegram at the same time, I can use TV and radio at the same time, or all of them. So that is why mass communication is so important, because they are the channel, they are the pathway for you to communicate with others. Okay. So moving on. So let's say you already roughly know mass communication. So why mass com? Why should I choose mass com? What am I going to get out of this? This will be some common thing that every student, every one of us will be going through. Even I did when I wanted to start my studies as a mass com student. You see, so very important thing that you will learn is, I think, it's a big takeaway, not just for your work, but a big takeaway for you on your personal development, on your self development, is that you gain a very good communication and creative thinking skill. Reason being, because one is, of course, when you say mass com, in classes you're required to talk a lot. You have to express, you have to show your opinion, share your opinion, you have to work with team members, and then I'll give you a problem, or maybe you have to solve the problem. You have to give me ideas to suggest strategies, or plannings to actually overcome that particular problems that's given to you. So with that, you will actually, without you realizing, you can actually compare yourself from the start. I have quite a number of students, I know how they started and how they finished. They are suddenly a superstar because they can just communicate so well, and they're so good in thinking, using their thinking cap and solving problems, gesting, working with teamwork, team members. You see, teamwork is a very important skill as well, especially when you're going for work. So with this group and everything, with your assignments and tasks that is given, you will learn, you get a lot of coverage, especially all these takeaway things, not just something, a theory, not something we learn on a subject, it's not that, but a hands-on experience that will be beneficial for you. Okay, especially you'll be a better communicator, and you'll be able to, when something happened, you can think, oh, I've seen this, I've studied this, or I've done this with my classmate, I roughly know. So this will be an advancement, this will be an extra plus point for you to know and understand where you are coming from. All right. So second, of course, very important, to build your self-confidence and self-esteem. I think this is also a very important aspect, especially for people who feel or fear that, I don't think I can communicate. I don't think I can talk. I don't think I can present. All these things, all the don't has suddenly become can. Whatever you say no has actually become a can, because we here give you that opportunity. So in mass you won't be sitting and just doing calculations or doing writings, and you're just not doing some practical just on writing alone. You see, you have a lot of hands-on that will require you to speak, do activity, do campaign, do events. So there'll be dancing, there'll be games, a lot of fun-filled activities that you will do, which eventually develops your confidence and esteem. So whoever is feel like I'm an introvert, I cannot. It's okay, but you can still play along and get yourself engaged. You'll be assigned to be a leader, you'll be assigned to be a person who's in charge for a particular thing. Eventually you find yourself, I'm responsible for this. You will gain your accountability in carrying out that, and without you realizing, you will have the confidence to go and speak to anyone, to speak openly in public. There's no fear of stage fright and everything. Of course there will be, you see, but you will overcome to a certain extent. All right. And another part, then moving on, will be diversified career prospect. So I think there is another plus point with MESCOM is that you don't have to like, okay, I finished this course, I only can graduate or work in this particular field. No such thing. When you finish mass communication, you can diversify your career pathway. You have quite a number of areas. Oh, I did journalism, but I think I prefer this. Or I did advertising, but I prefer journalism. So you can pick which one you would want. I have a list later. I'll share what some of the career pathway, just some. So there's more actually. So I'm sharing some career pathway that will be very helpful and beneficial for you to consider, right? And of course, like I said, MESCOM is always happening. We are very happening people. So it's very fun and creative culture. We embrace a lot of cultures. We embrace a lot of knowledges, religion. So a lot of things we do. We understand people, we understand cross-cultural communication, we try to understand interpersonal communication, because here we do not want to look down, or people feel, oh, there's language differences, and no, not a problem. We have students, international students, plenty international students joined with SEGI and doing mass communication, because we allow a place, because you see, end of the day, our language that we speak is a medium for us to communicate. But what here we want to see, especially in my classes, the main thing that I usually want my students to show is that your talent, your ability to tackle that situation, instead of just seeing language as a barrier. So no issues on that. So we will have all our activities, all the events that you're taking part is all fun and creative, and it's you who will be organizing it. You see, so from start, that means from scratch until the end of the session, it will be you who will be doing all the planning. So it's not like I give you the event name, I give you the event, or must be in this. I will just give you a basic guideline. I'll be an advisor. All the lecturers will be an advisor, but we will let you play your own thing. We let you plan your own game. So you will have with your friends, planning and doing, executing things. So we want to see your leadership skill. We want to see your ability to plan and execute something. So that's why I say it's a very fun and creative environment for your learning experience. All right. And why I say all-rounder, like I said, whatever I mentioned here is already showing you that's why you are an all-rounder. That means you can speak, you can communicate, you can plan, you can execute, you can strategize, you can do everything. And when I say all-rounder, you can also work in various industries. So it doesn't mean I only can work in the media, not necessary. You can work in any corporate organization. It can be hospital, it can be school, it can be colleges, it can be any industry that requires your expertise, because every organization will need a communicator. That means a proper communicating person for them to execute whatever necessary communication with their public, you see. So because every business is out there for a reason. So they need someone to communicate effectively for them. And who they need? They need mass comm students like us, right? Right. So this was the one that I was telling you earlier. So some of the career pathway that you can actually consider. Some of the thing. Let's say if I join, where can I possibly enter? Where can I consider myself being there? Right. So these are some of the thing. Only some. So there can be a variation, or there can be more. Right. So you can be a PR, or we call it public relation practitioner, PR practitioner in short. You can be an advertiser. You can join an advertising agency. You can be a copywriter for them. You can also do anchoring. You like RJ or VJ, radio jockey or video jockey. You love that. You want to be aired on the radio. You can choose that. You can also specialize in marketing and sales representative. You can be a manager. You can be an executive, depending on what you are furthering. You can be a customer service consultant, customer service manager. You can further, enhance your skill. Maybe you're good in talking, you're good in persuading the people, you're good in explaining to people. You can consider, customer service, because they need people like you who can talk, who can handle situation, especially, people when coming to you with a problem, how you can solve the issue. Then people who like event, you can be an event manager, or you like writing, you can consider to be a writer. And you're into broadcasting, for example. I love recording, shooting. I love to go around with cameras. I want to be a film producer, film director. So film production can be one field for you to consider. Quite a number of pathway inside there. Can be a script writer, quite a big broad area under broadcasting. So you can choose that as your major. Then you can be a just general communication expert. That means you're really good with planning, strategizing, giving idea, talking, writing speeches. So quite a number of things. So you are just an all-rounder in communication itself. That means you can just talk to different levels of people. You know what the etiquettes to actually speak to them, what are the things you need to do, how to strategize ideas and execute plans. So, you can be there. And of course, not forgetting this younger generation, you love the social media. So you can be a social media expert. You can know how to effectively use social media marketing, social media for all the communication needs. So organization, they will need some expert, someone who is good, someone who knows, okay, what is the best platform to use, Instagram or Facebook, or is it Twitter? So you must know which social media to use at the right time. So when you're an expert, you know how to do, what pictures to use, what kind of words to say, you see. So quite a number of things you as an expert, you will know. Or you are into photography, you can consider that as well. So you can be a photographer. Or you love to be a news anchor or a journalist, then you may consider that as well. So like I said, this is why it's an all-rounder, because you can do a number of things, especially with mass comm, you have exposure to all of this. Then of course in your final year, you may want to choose your specialization, depending on, I really love broadcasting. So I want to, be a film producer or director. So I want to take broadcasting. Go ahead, because you will learn more detail on a specialized field. You will learn more hands-on on that particular field on your third year. So we have public relation major, we have advertising major, we have journalism major, we also have broadcasting major. All right, the four majors that we have here, so which you can choose and specialize. And not forgetting, even after that, you want to change later on, you might find an interest, you want to switch to another job, not a problem, because you are an expert communicator. No matter which field you're interested with, you can still excel out there in various industry that may need your expertise. Okay. All right. So to conclude, and also I will just share. Okay, if you were to consider, what will my future be like with mass communication? What am I like? What am I going to see? Where do I see myself in a few years' time? So these are the common things we will actually have in our mind. All right. So now, compared to the previous days and these days, so much has changed. Okay, the conventional way of how mass comm used to be and the contemporary mass communication that is now, you will automatically find yourself being an expert in digital communication, because very often, even the modules, the study modules and everything has been changed, has been tweaked to fit and to accept or to facilitate digital communication, where students can involve themselves with social media marketing, social media advertising. So quite a number of things where you specialize in social media, the use of it, how to write for the social media, how to record a video for social media. You even learn editing tools like Illustrator, Photoshop. So you are prepared in a very diversified. So you're versatile, basically, all right. So you're versatile in every aspect, and you know roughly what are the things you need to do. How much do I make use of this? And of course, not forgetting, like I said earlier, you can be a communication strategist. That means you're an expert. You can give awesome strategies. You can give awesome ideas and how to go to plan and execute that as well. All right. So that will be your extra forte. There'll be an extra thing that nobody can touch you, in the sense you're good at what you are doing. All right. And like I said, when you're already an expert in digital communication, automatically you can be a social media expert. And nowadays, a lot of industries that you go work with, there are one particular requirement that they have as well. That means they want you to immerse totally into social media, to make use of it, to how utilize it effectively. Because social media is there, of course, but we still have to know the best way, the best timing timing matters a lot, right? So when we're going to post this thing, when we're going to publish this thing, it matters a lot because we need the audience to view at that particular time, right? So a lot of these things you need to learn. You will be an expert along the line as learning process, and of course that includes your own learning mechanism as well. You include your own learning processes as well. But along the line, you will find yourself, oh my God, social media, my favorite thing. I love to be, engaged in Facebook. I want to expand more, or Instagram. Quite a number of things we can do these days, and there are more things will be coming. By the time you finish, in few years time, you might have a new application that taking over another, app and everything. So you become an expert. You will indulge yourself, and you find yourself, expanding and growing together. Right. So once again, the all-rounder, why do I say that? Like I said, you can immerse yourself in various diversified career opportunity. And of course, when I say all-rounder, that means you alone can manage a number of things. That means you can give idea, you can plan, you can edit, you can execute, you can talk, you can write, you see. So that is why I say mass communicators are an expert all-rounder. Reason being, you know what you're doing, you exactly know what are the things you need, what are the things required for you to actually run your own business, or even work with someone, or work with an existing organization. It's just that a matter of time, because you are a born winner, you are a superstar yourself, and with the help of the education that you're getting, it will actually prepare you to a better person. All right, so with that, I end my sharing session here.
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Jessica. Wow,
No
that is
problem.
a very, very cool presentation, I would say. So, for students or parents, if you are still watching, if you are creative, if you are an all-rounder, by all means, this will be perfect for you. Okay? Please do not wait further. You can always comment in the chat box, and our friendly counselors will actually get back to you, all right, on the details of these programs. Okay, now, thank you, both of you, for the valuable.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, before we end our session, personally, I have a few questions to ask the both of you. All right, so here are my questions. Okay, my first question will be, what are the personality requirement that is needed to be in both of this field of studies?
Okay, maybe I can share few of the facilities are needed in our creative design programs. Most of the time, we are looking for the students who are really passionate, all right? They have interest to learn, eager to learn new things because of course the lecturers will give many exposure to our students about the new things, right? And of course you must be open-minded, all right? You will get a lot of feedbacks and comments, okay, towards of your projects. And what else? Friendly, all right? Because we sometimes you will get along with the friends and working in team with your classmates, all right, and like challenges, because of course in order for you to become a professional designers, then you will go through a lot of tasks and projects. So I guess those challenges will be that is how we train you guys to be more stronger and then professional in the future, right? Maybe Miss Jessica would like to share something for
Yeah,
masscom.
sure. Okay, so for masscom, I would say, of course, we also need someone who is very creative, who's very outgoing, all right? Because masscom, like I said, is a very fun, exciting kind of a field, which requires you to talk a lot. So we need people who is, able to speak confidently, willing to speak. It's confident is something we can, along the line, we can actually, train them for, but someone who's willing to attempt. That is very important, because here we might require you to just suddenly come out in front of the class, do something, plan something, or lead, be a leader for something. So we need someone who is, outgoing, who's ready to take up a challenge. That is very important. And like how Miss Aziz said, being open-minded is very important, because we will discuss a lot of things in classes, especially when it comes to news and everything. We will discuss something that is about sensitive matters and all. So everybody must be open to, accept this kind of discussion. We accept others' views, critiques, opinion. So we cannot be very, rigid, or oh, I don't like to talk about this, I don't like to talk about that. So when it comes to masscom, you have to be, even as a student, you have to be like an all-rounder. You're willing to take all the challenges and whatever it needs for you to be better in the study process.
Okay. Now, coming to my second question, I believe we actually went through in the slides earlier, but it's just a recap. Just a recap, or I would say a simpler version for people to understand. So, what is the career opportunity that will be available after the student graduate from these programs?
Yeah, from my side, I didn't include it in my slide in previous,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I would like to share with you guys about the opportunity, right? Career opportunities. Right after you graduate from the programs, okay, we are offering you guys a visual communication design and multimedia design as well. So what I can promise you, you definitely can be a multimedia designers, graphic designers, art directors, illustrator. All right, you can be a video editor, content creator. That is the most famous opportunity. Okay, currently going on in our society now. So those are the things that I can share with you guys about the opportunity if you are studying creative designs. And I believe Miss Jessica is already mentioned and
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
mentioned
But
this in the slide, right?
I will just highlight as well because I just
Oh
included that as
yeah.
well. So quite a number of area like I mentioned earlier, but the very most common one, of course, you want to can be a journalist. You don't want to focus on advertising, public relation, and then you want to go into broadcasting. So it depends on what student like. But the current one, very much we are also emphasizing is on social media content. So you can be a content writer, you can be editor. So we are focusing, and quite a number of these days children students, they prefer to actually further into that because it's something that they like. So quite a number of things. So when it comes to work wise, not just media, so I want to highlight again, so not just media industry that you can work with, any corporate organization that need the communication expertise, our students can actually go and work with that, not a problem.
Okay. Now, coming to my third question, I believe this is the question where I would say we encounter very much of them during the education fairs and or going to school fairs. So usually students will ask on this question. Okay. So in terms of program recognition, can the student work overseas after they graduate, after they got their certificate?
Yes, for creative design, okay, as everyone knows that our field is wide, our field is wide and recognizing doesn't matter in which country you are at, okay? So I believe that the recognition is not a problem, okay, for creative design. The opportunity is always widely open for you guys there, all right? Like what I said, talking about the career opportunity, all right, it is just depends on us how we seek for it, okay, because it's everywhere. Same goes to mass comm for sure. I really I'm
Yes.
confident with that.
Correct. Because our programs are recognized, so no issue about them going overseas to find a work. Because, like I said, it's a very common. Masscom is always sometimes in different countries they are more recognized, well versed. A lot of students love to go and further and all. The only thing I want to highlight is that student must accept one thing is that just because we learn here or we learn a certain method doesn't mean it will be applicable the same way there. Maybe the processes, how that organization in that country work, the way they execute may be case to case in the sense their own organization practice. Or they cannot say, "Oh, I learned this in class, so it has to be the same there." That's the only difference I would want to highlight, so that they adapt. They have to adapt to that culture or that work practices, depending where they are going.
Okay. Now, okay, due to the time, I think we are almost towards the end and also reaching our limit. Just one final question. The last questions that I have for the both of you. Okay, I think this question, parents will be very concerned. Not student concerned lah. Parents will concern more on this
Mhm.
question. Okay, so we will come to the last question. How can the faculty help a student and guide them to graduate on time?
Okay, Justin, I like your question. Okay,
Good question.
because of this is your last question, so I have the answer for that. I am the program leader for creative design, so my objective is to make sure all the students can graduate on time. So what can I share with you is most of our lecturer, not most, all of our lecturers are friendly, all right, and easy to work with. So we can assist students, all right, with the best way we can, all right. We are always there for them.